Well, it's Thanksgiving, guys, and we are cooking up a turkey feast here. Stick around, you will not want to miss this 10 bottle blind here from Wild Turkey. Welcome back to Capitol Bourbon, everyone. My name is Steven. On today's special video, as you can see, we got a pretty crazy one for you guys today. We are going to be going ahead and blinding 10 different offerings here from the Wild Turkey Distillery in honor of Thanksgiving in 2024. Now, Russell's does not have wild turkey on it, but as we all know, that is made by the Wild Turkey Distillery. And I just kind of want to do something a little crazy, something a little fun, something I really always wanted to do, really blind every offering that I have from the Wild Turkey Distillery and see how they compare against each other. And I thought, why not? Thanksgiving Day 2024, might as well do something a little bit ridiculous here and just do it in the same blind. Hopefully we'll be able to compare all of them and try to pick a winner and kind of rank them from what we prefer. And I think blinding these bottles is the best way to actually rank them. But you got so much here. I'm just hoping my taste buds don't wear down and will actually taste each of these bottles and give them an accurate ranking here, comparing them to each other as well. Going down the line here, let's just start from the right here. We do have the infamous Russell's 15, which is released this year. A lot of people are going crazy for it and saying that's the best whiskey of the year. I think it's definitely up there. I wouldn't say it's the best for me so far, but we'll be doing blind there at the end of the year and kind of citing that as well. But yeah, we got the Russell's 15 here. We also have the Russell's 13 here, which I haven't reviewed before and actually haven't even opened. I bought it a few months ago for a good price there on the secondary markets. And yeah, I haven't opened it yet, but this is batch 2. And the proof on this guy, let's just see right here. This is 54.7% or 114.8 proof. So excited to open this guy up and finally compare it to the Russell's 15, see which one comes on top. After that, we do have a single rickhouse here from Russell's. This is a Camp Nelson F, which came out in 2023. It's not their newest release, which is the Camp Nelson B, coming out in 2024. I wasn't able to get my hands on it, unfortunately, this year, at least at this time by Thanksgiving. So we're going to stick with the Camp Nelson F, which I have tried at a bar and I thought was absolutely phenomenal. So I'm excited to open up this one. I had to find it, open up this one and try it out and compare it. Up next, a new bottle that I haven't opened up yet, again, is a single barrel here. It's a private barrel select. And this one here is coming out of Tyrone Warehouse number floor F, which is the same, as again, the single rickhouse here from Camp Nelson F. Sorry, same floor, different rickhouse though. And this one proof here is age 8 years, and the proof on this guy, I guess they're all the same, 110 proof. Going down the line here, we do have another Russell's. This one here is just a single barrel they can find stared on the shelves. Going to be comparing this one, although this one is definitely not my favorite. After that, we got the 10-year, Russell's 10-year, which I've had for about a year now. I've been babying there a little bit, which I very much enjoy the 10-year here. I think that was phenomenal. Coming down the line here, another new pickup, a new crack. This is the Kentucky Spirit single barrel. This is coming from Camp Nelson F again. So, we have a couple Camp Nelsons here on the table and also from, floor F here. Going down the line here again, we have the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This is one of my favorites and, one of the best bangs for the buck that you can get out there. I actually just finished my bottle, so I had to pick up a new bottle. So this one is also going to be a fresh crack here. Going down that, we do have the Wild Turkey, what is this one? The Standard 101 we got next. Which is an absolutely phenomenal bottle and one of the best pickups you can buy as a beginner or someone looking for a lot of insane value there. After that, we do have a recent pickup, which is the 7th anniversary, aged 8 years, coming out 101 proof too. That bottle is phenomenal. I really enjoy it. I think there's a lot more dark, rich oakiness on that compared to the regular 101. So really happy with that bottle. I think that one's gonna do pretty well in this blind, but yeah, only one way to find out and go ahead and do it. So really, without further ado, we're gonna be doing a lot of tasting night and I hope you guys can stick around for that. Let's go ahead and pour these bottles. And before we get into it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps the channel grow significantly and helps me make content for you guys. It helps grow to where we want to be at. And don't forget to leave a comment down below on your predictions for this blind and for this ranking. And also comment if you got it right or if I got something wrong here as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pour these guys up. And let's go ahead and shuffle them, give them the smell, give them a taste, and give them a rating and see how they rank comparing against each other. We'll be right back. All right, we are back and we finally got all of the bottles poured up into our different 10 mini Glencairns here. And yes, we're using the mini Glencairns because I don't want to get too turnt tonight. Although, if this many sips and this many tries, I'm definitely gonna get pretty turnt. Okay, I don't know which bottles to pour where. You can tell a little bit of color difference here, but I'm gonna try to ignore that as best as I can and really make this a true blind. I don't really know, which is what though, just based on the color. So to make sure I really don't know where is anything, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick mix up right now, so I'm absolutely blind and absolutely certain I don't know what's what. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'll take a minute. All right, we are back and we got our Glencairns completely blind and completely mixed up now. I'm gonna go ahead and start from my left to my right and just work my way down the line and start to rank them and take notes. I do have a piece of paper here and a little bit of pen, so I'll take notes and see which ones come out on top. So starting on very left here, let's give it a sniff. Okay, definitely wild turkey smell. Kurt from SLB Drinks always says wild turkey products remind him of a sweet and sour sauce. I'm really getting out on this nose here. A lot of sour with kind of a sweetness and vinegar there on the nose as well. Yeah, really, it smells like a fried egg roll actually. It smells good, really a lot of sour notes, wow. Earthy tobacco too, hints of that. Let's go ahead, give it a shot. And that was really good. You're getting granulated sugar there on the tip of your tongue with a lot of spice and kind of a tight, punchy sweetness there in the middle of the palate. Finish there is average, not the best. The mouthfeel there, you know, for me, it's pretty watery, honestly. Color there on that one's a little bit light, but that one's not bad at all. I could drink that one and be pretty happy with that. Let's give it one more sip here. That one I quite enjoy. That is my first sip of the night though. I quite enjoy that one. My immediate rating on the first glass here on the left, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 75. I think it's good, however it's lacking there in the mouthfeel, as well as in that proof, and just overall the finish as well. So 75, that's not a bad place to start. Let's go ahead, move on to the next one here. Not getting much on the nose really, just kind of smells honestly like hot water. Ethanol, water, a little bit of bourbon hints. Yeah, kind of just a faint ethanol bourbon smell, nothing standing out, really generic on the nose there. Let's go ahead and see how it is on the palate. Yeah, palate, also pretty much like the nose, really watery, pretty run down, pretty watery. Not much flavor there on the nose, just a punch of ethanol, a little bit of spice, very little hint of brown sugar and granulated sugar there, but really not much at all. Finish is super short, it goes away pretty much immediately. Honestly, this one just tastes like an ethanol and someone dumped in maybe half a teaspoon of sugar into a cup and mixed it up. This one, not much really giving me at all. Let's try it one more time though. Proof point's also low, mouthfeel's not there. Yeah, this one I really don't enjoy actually. I'm gonna give that one probably a 55. It's really nothing I would reach for ever again really, and probably will be a bottle I'm really looking to give away or maybe even put into an infinity barrel or something like that. That one is not something I would enjoy, and given I don't really sip on whiskey too much every night, that's a bottle I'm just not gonna reach for at all. So for that one, I'm giving it a 55, which is pretty abysmal. Let's move on to the next one here. This one's a bit darker color. Let's see how it is on the nose. Yeah, a lot more on the nose, a lot deeper, richer, more brown sugar, more oak. Sweet, you're getting kind of that creamy sweetness on the nose, which I really, really enjoy. I really like this one on the nose so far. Best on the nose out of all of them so far, although this is only the third one. Creamy almonds, berries, almost like vanilla yogurt covered raisins. Smells like that a little bit on the nose. Let's see how it's on the palate. Best so far. Yeah, you're getting a lot of spice, brown sugar, kind of candy there too, like a hard sugar candy that you can find at a lot of malls and stuff like that, your grandma's basement. Tastes like that one as well. I really enjoy this one. There's nothing too complex and the finish isn't super long and the mouthfeel isn't that great, but the flavor that you get there in the beginning and mid palate is pretty good, I would say. Definitely not the best and not outstanding, but it's pretty good and decent. Yeah, I could drink that one too. Best on palate so far, I would say. I'm gonna give that one probably a 78. It's good, but it's nothing fantastic. Doesn't really stand out in the line of bourbons, I would say. And also on the back of my throat there, I'm kind of getting a lot of ethanol and stringency, which I'm not just the biggest fan of. So yeah, I'm going with a 78 for this guy, number 3. All right, number 4 here, definitely the darkest of the bunch. Might be giving it away, but I'm not gonna let that bias me and distract me. Let's see how it is on the nose. I'm getting spice and subtle hints, not really that best on the nose there. Spice and ethanol is what I'm really getting on the nose of this one. Nothing too deep and rich and complex, just kind of spice, ethanol, oak, char finish. Yeah, a lot of char and a lot of ethanol, almost a chemically, honestly, kind of smell on the nose, but let's go ahead and see how it's on the palate. That one is good. The mouthfeel and finish on this one is definitely by far the best. You are kind of getting hints of creaminess and oakiness there in the finish, which lasts honestly probably a pretty good while now. Yeah, definitely spicy, oaky. You do taste that char, a little bit of ethanol there as well. It goes for a while. But honestly, for this one, number 4 here, I wouldn't say the mouthfeel is the best. I wouldn't say, the flavor is kind of leaving me with a chemically kind of flavor at the very end there. I think it's just that overcharredness and kind of age showing a little bit more in this one. But, to me, this one, it's not as sweet as the rest, which I prefer sweeter bourbon. So this one honestly isn't rating as high as it should be, I think. Yeah, the pour is good. It's nothing super fantastic. For this one, I'm honestly gonna give this one probably an 80, 83. It does have better mouthfeel and does have a longer finish. However, it's nothing really that great, nothing phenomenal, and doesn't really stand out too much from the pack here, especially the third one or the first one. The flavors there, again, does last a little longer and it's a little more charred, complex, but it's nothing really that special, I would say. So, okay, moving on to the next one here. We got number 5. We're halfway done with the flight so far. So let's go ahead and see how it is on the nose. Same wild turkey now, kind of getting used to it, but that sweetness and that sourness. Nothing too great on the nose on this one. Let's give it a swirl here. Yeah, nothing really fantastic on the nose of this one. Not getting much at all. Honestly, just bourbon, ethanol, which, this is a bourbon, so let's go ahead and see how it is on the palate. The mouthfeel on this one is better. It's thicker. I'm getting more cream, more oak, a little bit of brown sugar and sweetness there. I'm getting an astringent note though on the back of my throat and the back of my tongue, which isn't very pleasant after the bourbon kind of goes down. So, the finish on this one is not the best, but the mouthfeel is a little bit better, I think, than most of them here. Let's go ahead and see how it is again on the palate. Yeah, the first 75% there is pretty good actually. Sweetness, oaky, but then the last 25% there, you are getting kind of a tannic and kind of a char note, which, is kind of drying out my tongue and not making it feel the best, nor is it the best taste to finish on there. Kind of like a stink bug kind of taste, if you kind of know what I'm talking about here. We're in Virginia, we do get them sometimes, so not the best here, but I'm gonna give this a ranking here, probably 78 as well. I don't think it's anything fantastic there. Let's go ahead and give it 78. Moving on, this one's a little darker still. Let's see how it is on the nose. I'm getting a lot of oak on this one, but on the back end there, I'm getting like kind of a red fruit smell, like a strawberry or a grapey kind of smell, really. Even just not a fan of the wild turkey nose in general, but up until this point, I don't think any of these has smelled really fantastic or something I really want to sniff on for the rest of the night, which I think is a big part of drinking whiskey. You can kind of, smell it for the rest of the night and then taste it. So I'm not a huge fan so far of the wild turkey and Russell's smell, but this one smells just like all of them kind of blends together now. That classic wild turkey smell. You gotta fight for this one too. It's subtle, but it's there. So let's give it a try on the palate. That one's different from the bunch, wow. I quite enjoy that one. That one's definitely by far the sweetest with kind of a white sugar sweetness there. And definitely more fruit forward as well. I'm getting a bright kind of red fruit flavor from this one, which I quite enjoy. I think so far this one's actually probably the best palate. The finish isn't long there again. It's kind of watery again, in my opinion. The mouthfeel isn't there either, but it's probably the best one so far, at least for flavor-wise. I think this one's great. Again, fruit basket. Let's get one more shot. Yeah, a charred oak red fruit basket. Definitely brighter than the bunch. I think that one's great. I'm giving that one probably an 85 so far, which I'm pretty happy with. That's a pretty good bourbon. Our next one here, number 7. Let's see how it is on the nose. It's good on the nose. Nothing again staying out, just that wild turkey Russell smell. Yeah, nothing staying out. Let's go ahead and see how it is on the palate. I think for all these, really, you can't judge it on the nose just because they're all have that quintessential wild turkey and Russell smell. So really gotta go off the palate on these guys. So let's try this one. That one, I'm a big fan of. That has a good finish, really long finish. Mouthfeel is really creamy, which I'm a big fan of. It's sweet there, kind of a grapey too. Not getting too much sour. On the end there, a little charred, a little stringent, but not too much, and definitely doable and dealable. I think this one's fantastic so far. Best of the bunch, I think, so far. Let's try it one more time. Again, you're getting that oaky char sweetness, a little bit of sour there as well. You're getting the cream on the mouthfeel of this one, which I'm a huge fan of. I think that really makes a great bourbon. So I think that one's great so far. I'm gonna give that one an 87. I think out of the bunch, that's the best one so far. But let's go ahead and mark that down, 87 for number 7. All right, number 8 here. See how it was on the nose. This one smells like a fresh plastic package that I just opened up, kind of that chemically smell, kind of burnt chemically plastic smell. And I'm kind of being brought back to my childhood days when I was playing around with electric toy trains. And you would turn the dial, flow electric current through the tracks, the train would go, and it would kind of like char, burn, and arc. I'm kind of getting that like arcing, smoking, plastic smell from this one. It's really intriguing. I wouldn't say it's the best thing to have on a bourbon though. I am getting kind of hints of a little bit of red fruit there, also in the beginning, kind of a citrus note there, an orange, lemon citrus note. But interesting nose, really interesting nose. Let's go ahead and see how it is on the palate. Oh, and on the palate there, that one's shocking. That's really bright, really in your face, really red fruity, really citrusy too. Kind of an orange peel also kind of tastes there at the very end. I like that one a lot. It's really hitting you and really a change of pace from the rest of the wild turkey and Russell's lineup that we've had so far. This one, I think is pretty good, honestly. Let's give it one more shot. That's a great change of pace. Really fruity on that one again. Bright red fruits hitting you. Creamy mouthfeel. Finish isn't too long, a little bit watery also, but again, the creaminess on the mouthfeel is definitely there. And the flavors there, pretty remarkable actually. So I like this one a lot. I'm gonna give this one an 88. I think it's one notch above the previous one. So yeah, I'm giving this one an 88 here. The one part definitely falls behind there is definitely on the nose, which you're getting that burnt plastic smell, that kind of arcing electrical smell, which I don't understand. That doesn't transfer to the palate at all. The palate's really great and really different. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one an 88. Although nose wasn't that great, I think it's worth it. Next one here, we got number 9. Okay, nose on this one is a little different. Bright red fruit, char, oak. Not too much sweetness, but yeah, kind of that wild turkey classic smell, but a little bit more elevated, I would say, actually, towards that fruity side. Let's see how it tastes. That one's drinking pretty high proof. So far, I think that's the highest proof out of the bunch. I'm not sure what it is, maybe 115, maybe to 120 if I was just completely guess. You are getting a lot of oak there on the finish and a little bit more, yeah, a lot more tannins, a lot more charness. Drying out my mouth a lot there, a little chemically as well. Let's actually take another sip. I have been taking a sip of water in between most of these, but for that one, I think I need to take a sip in between the same drink. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's give it one more time on the palate. That was an interesting one. That one's good. I don't think it's phenomenal. The finish on this one's probably longest. It's really lasting and staying with me. But you're getting just a lot of that charness and kind of oakiness on the finish there. Not really sweet, no fruit really, just kind of that char oakiness throughout the mid and end palate. The beginning there, I can't really tell what it tastes like really in the beginning. But I think this one's pretty decent. I'll give this one probably an 80 there. It's nothing phenomenal. Definitely, I would say below average really in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one 80. All right, let's move on to the final one here. Getting a bit more red, bright fruit on this last one here, almost like a pineapple kind of smell to it, which is pretty good. Again, change of pace, which is nice. Almost like an Amburana or coconut kind of pina colada finish, like I'm getting out of Penelope Rio or the RD1 Amburana finish, which I think is quite good and kind of like a French toast, cinnamon toast crunch kind of feel. Yeah, Amburana cinnamon toast crunch, which is I think kind of good. I know it's not going to taste like an Amburana just because that's completely on the other side of the world for these wild turkey and Russells, but yeah, I'm getting that on the nose, which is quite good. All right, well, let's go ahead and see how it is on the palate. Yeah, actually the nose does kind of transfer the palate in this very last one. On the palate, you're getting kind of that cinnamon toast crunch, creamy French oak, vanilla yogurt kind of outfit, which I definitely enjoy. Definitely change the pace for this one. More cinnamon, definitely a lot more cinnamon on this one. I think it's pretty good. The mouthfeel is there. The finish is medium to long, and this will last for a while. But if you want kind of that more whiskey or bourbon kind of experience for Amburana, I know Amburana's not bourbon, but kind of with that more whiskey experience, I know a lot of people that have tried Amburana complain that that's not whiskey at all. But if you kind of want more of that, this might be the one for you. You are getting a little bit of cinnamon there, and again, kind of similar Amburana experience, which I definitely enjoy. So I'm gonna give this one an 84. It's good, but it's not too depth and not too complex. Honestly, I don't think any of these were really that complex. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this one an 84. It's pretty good, but definitely not the best of the bunch so far. All right, and for the sake of not getting too drunk and too turned, I'm gonna go ahead and order them from left to right in terms of greatest to least greatest of what I rated them, and then go ahead and retry maybe the top 3 to 5 Glencairns just to figure out, okay, which one actually comes out on top and which one's gonna win here. So let me go ahead and rearrange the order right now. All right, we're back and went ahead and rearranged the mini Glencairns here to the current rankings of them. I did separate the top 5 here from the rest of the bunch here, which is the lower 5. One interesting thing here is that these two ones here, which are touching, did get a tie here at ranking of 78, which were originally glasses number 3 and 5. So I'm gonna keep them a little touching here just so we know that. I might go ahead and revisit these guys and kind of complete the tiebreaker. Actually, let's go ahead and just do it right now. Let's go ahead and try these guys and see which one actually is going to be higher than the other one. Give me 1 second here to do that. And actually, after doing that, the one on my left here, which was actually number 1, far exceeded the one on the right here. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this one can move up the chain here compared to the rest of them. Let me go ahead and do that right now. All right, I actually like my rankings that I had before, so let me go ahead and keep that there. Let me go ahead and rearrange these guys a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead, take a couple minutes here, drink some water, give it some time, and actually figure out, okay, with these top 5 here, which one do I actually think is the best, and come up with a top 5 ranking of wild turkey and Russell picks here for Thanksgiving Day. Give me a minute, I'll go ahead and do that right now. All right, guys, and after all that deliberation, we got our final ranking here. The bottom 5 didn't really change at all. The top 5 did. Our number 1 here did actually move into place number 5. However, the rest of them remain the same. So let's go ahead and reveal what we got here, starting from position number 10. I do have my little decoder sheet here. So position number 10, we gave it a ranking here of 55, which is honestly pretty horrible. So number 10 here, let's see what the number was. And that is a number 5. And look at my decoder sheet right here. Number 5 corresponds to Russell's Reserve tenure. Okay, so that's pretty interesting that we got the Russell's Reserve tenure here at very last. Let me try to find that here real quick just to show you guys. Yep, here's the Russell's Reserve tenure. Honestly, I thought this was a little bit better than that. I did finish a good amount of it, maybe halfway down. I thought it did have a little bit more oaky sweetness to that, brown sugar sweetness, which I do enjoy. However, I think the mouthfeel, the finish, and honestly the flavor, honestly in this blind here, did do it pretty bad. And yeah, it's coming number 10 here. So Russell's Reserve tenure coming number 10. All right, moving on. Let's see what we got here at number 9. At number 9, We did get a ranking here of 75, and which started out position number 1 before we did the final rankings and everything. But yeah, number 9 here, let's see what that decodes to. That's the number 2, which decodes to the Russell's Reserve single barrel. Okay, so the single barrel did beat out at least the 10-year by 1 position. And honestly, it beat out pretty heavily, pretty drastically, as well as all the other wild turkeys that Russell's Reserve did. All right, coming in here at position number 8, which is this guy, which I had to deliberate there against number 8 and number 7. But yeah, coming at number 8 here, we finally got number 10, which number 10 does go to the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. That is shocking. That beat out the 101. Which, you know, my full review of the 101 and the anniversary, I did give the anniversary the edge up there just based on the mouthfeel, complexity, and flavor. And, you know, I do actually sip on the 101 and anniversary when I want to start the night with something a little bit lower proof there, but it's also pretty good and pretty complex and has good sweetness. But I'm surprised. The anniversary, wow, that's coming in number 8 there. That's surprising me. I think that's a great bottle. Still a great bottle. You know, all these are great bottles here. I would say all of them are fantastic bottles here, really, besides the one that came in 10th, the 10-year. But yeah, wow, 7th anniversary here, coming in number 8. I thought this would have ranked a little bit higher and beat out some of these other bottles here, given that I thought this was well worth it for the price point, around that $50 price point there. So I am surprised here that the Wild Turkey anniversary is coming in at 8th here. I thought it would beat out some heavy hitters, but you know, that's what blinds are. You never know what's going to happen. So gotta stick with that. Coming in number 8th, let's figure out what's coming in number 7th here. Number 7th, we got it a rating of 79 here, which was originally number 3 here. Coming in number 7, we got number 3, which decodes to the Russell's Reserve 13 Batch 2. That's pretty crazy, guys. Most people really like this bottle, really enjoy it here. Apparently for me, I just didn't enjoy that too much on my palate. Maybe it's just a particular night really, but it is a fresh crack. Honestly, with the Russell's Reserve 15, I did not enjoy that immediately on the fresh crack. But after sitting on it a little while, letting it breathe, letting it open up, I did start enjoying that a little bit more here. So maybe it's the same thing here with the Russell's Reserve 13, coming in at number 7. All right, moving on to position number 6 here, ranking number 6. That was originally position number 9, and we get that ranking of 80 here, and it does decode to number 4, which corresponds to Russell's Reserve Private Barrel Tyrone F, which honestly, they did a good job here, just missing out the top 5. But I'm excited to pick up more of these private barrels here. This is my first one from Tyrone, so I'm excited to pick out some of the Camp Nelsons that they have floating around. I hear those are absolutely fantastic and something I want to pick up and kind of try and add to this blind here for next year, maybe to see where that ranks in and falls into place. But yeah, this Tyrone was pretty good here, just falling barely short of the top 5. Coming in at 80, that's above average, and definitely well worth it for the price point. And I'm just excited to find a Camp Nelson and see how good that is, because as we can tell, the other 2 Camp Nelson bottles came in our top 5. So let's go ahead and find out what number 5 is. All right, and for our number 5 spot here, breaking into the top 5, which was originally in position number 8, we gave it a ranking of 82 here, which actually dropped down from its original ranking of 88. And I said on the nose, it's dried fruit, still cracker, only 1 note though. And it is flavorful, but again, only 1 note there, and kind of still cracker, kind of dried fruit flavor. Let's see what it is, guys. And we got number 1. And number 1 here decodes to the Wild Turkey 101. Okay, all right, that's really surprising, guys. The standard Shelfer 101 beat out the Russell's Reserve 13, the anniversary edition, the Private Barrel, the 10-year, all that stuff. I'm really shocked and surprised by that. That just goes to show this 101 is way worth its value and can beat out a lot of great bottles. And definitely, guys, for the price point, $20, $30, you have to pick this one up. It's well worth it and punches well above its class. And you know, I'm really shocked that the 101 beat the top 5. That's something special. I did not expect it to be there at all. I expected it to be probably, you know, number 7, number 8, just because, you know, it's a lower proof point there, and I thought it was as complex. But I think the sweetness and probably the mouthfeel really shined through on this one. So, you know, coming at number 5, Wild Turkey 101. That's a real big shocker. All right, and number 4 here, I think we know what it is just by the color, but number 4 here, we did say that that one here was originally position number 4, and it finishes number 4. Originally ranking 82, I kept it 82. And for this one, I did say it was citrus, has long finish, oaky, underlined that one twice there. So very oaky on this one, and has a creamy finish to it as well, and a creamy mouthfeel. So I give a ranking again of 82 there. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And this one, I think you can all tell, but decoding to number 7 there, which number 7 corresponds to the Russell's Reserve 15 year. Right here. The bottle that everyone says is the bottle of the year. I would have to disagree with that, I guess, is that I think this one's pretty good. I think it has a lot of oak and does have complexity there for the age, but I don't think the finish is that great on it. I don't think the flavors are that great on it. And as you can see in my blind ranking here of the Russell's Reserve and Turkey, comes at position number 4. So I guess you can tell that this will not probably be the bottle of the year for me or the whiskey of the year, but it is a great bottle, phenomenal. Is it worth the $250 price point? No, I do not think so at all. I think there's definitely way bottles out there you can find for way cheaper, but is it a good bottle of whiskey? Absolutely fantastic. I think honestly, all these bottles of whiskey that I have here on the shelf, all these samples, all these Glencairns are fantastic. Besides number 10 here, I gave that a pretty horrible score. But yeah, this Russell's Reserve 15 I think is worth it and worth hunting for and worth trying, but you know, probably isn't worth that MSRP at all compared to these other guys here. All right, and without further ado, we got our top 3 here. And number 3 here is pretty light in the color actually, which I'm surprised at. But number 3 here, we ranked it as number 4, which was originally position number 10. For the tasting notes on this one, I said it was fruity, light, bright, sweeter, and a pretty good finish to it as well. So let's go ahead and reveal what number 3 is, which is number 9 here on the decoder. Number 9 is the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit Camp Nelson F. All right, well, you know, a lot of people say that Camp Nelson F does punch above its weight class and is producing something special, which makes sense since this is coming at number 3 here. Since this is coming at number 3 here, the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit Camp Nelson F. Hopefully you guys can see that, maybe not, but this one I think was absolutely special. Definitely more of that classic wild turkey flavor and kind of taste that you think when you think of wild turkey, that kind of bright, fruity, oaky sweetness with a little bit of sour there, that sweet and sour feeling. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to find this Kentucky Spirit before they stopped producing these guys, and I'm happy to have this one on my shelf. I think this one's fantastic, coming at number 3 here. Let's move on to number 2. And at position number 2, I gave it a rating of 85, which was originally position number 6. And let's just go ahead and see what number 2 here is. And number 2 does decode to number 6. It has number 6 on the bottom, which decodes to the Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson F. Okay, I'm not surprised about this one at all. I had this one in Miami for a pretty pricey pour, and I thought this was absolutely fantastic. And right when I came home from Miami, I had to find this bottle, had to buy this bottle, found it on the web pages on the secondary market, and just purchased it right away. I thought this bottle here was absolutely fantastic. And again, Camp Nelson F here is coming to 2nd place and 3rd place. So, you know, if you do see Camp Nelson, I would probably pick that up. Camp Nelson F is showing off that it is pretty good and well worth it. And the Single Rickhouse here, it is pricey here. MSRP is $300. I think it paid around $425 or $450 about 8 or 9 months ago. But I think it's well worth it. It's coming at place number 2, and I think this is a fantastic bottle here. Really enjoy this one, and I'm excited to look out for Camp Nelson B. Hopefully get my hands on that one, and hopefully Camp Nelson C, which is 2022, and give a ranking of those guys as well. All right, and finally what we've all been waiting for, our first place winner here in this 10 Wild Turkey Russell's Blind here. We got originally position number 7. We ranked it 87. In my tasting notes here, I said it was nut, cream, oak, fruit, sweet, and complex, and good finish, which is why I gave it position number 1 and ranking of 87. Let's go ahead and look what we got. We got a decoder here of number 8 on the bottom, which decodes to Wild Turkey Rare Breed, guys. Okay, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This is a shelfer. You can find this on a shelf anywhere for around $55 to probably $65, and it's well worth it, guys. Wild Turkey Rare Breed out of this blind is beating out all of these bottles here. I thought this was number 1. Absolutely fantastic, coming at 87 ranking here. Guys, you're beating out Russell's Reserve 15, 13, Camp Nelson, Single Rickhouse, Kentucky Spirit, all these bottles, and you can find this one on the shelf. If you haven't bought this one before, go out, do yourself a favor, buy this one for Thanksgiving dinner, and go ahead and try it, share with your friends, share with your family. This is absolutely fantastic bottle, and you know, it makes sense. I finished a whole bottle of this already within this whole year. I absolutely love this bottle. I had to pick up another one. It's still amazing, fantastic. I'm honestly shocked that Barrel Proof Wild Turkey Rare Breed beat out all these other bottles. I did not expect that at all, and I'm really shocked here and kind of speechless, honestly. Just because to show honestly, price point and rarity and allocation does not mean everything. And honestly, it's about what the juice is that makes it worth it. So honestly, I'm really shocked, but Rare Breed comes out as number 1 for this Thanksgiving blind, guys. Wow, there we go. Alright guys, well that does it for this video here on Capitol Bourbon, and please leave a comment down below on your predictions and where they ended up at, and if you were just as surprised as I was on our first place finisher and where every bottle ended up ranking. Until next time guys, I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving 2024, enjoy the whiskey, and cheers!